Hello, this is Melody Pash, Dream Diva, and I'm with a friend named Kristen Lopez from
Newark, Delaware.
We are on the East Coast, and we are talking to people about dreams and otherwise, and Kristen is going to share a very cool dream that's going to give some illumination on generational deliverance. So this is a really good dream. You're going to like it. So Kristen, share the dream with me. I'm just going to process it through it with you. So I'm going to stop you and make some comments. Otherwise, we get to the end. I've forgotten everything I wanted to say. So I'm just going to sort of stop you. We'll talk about it, and then I'll let you continue. So just tell me the beginning of the dream.
Okay. So the dream was at my parents' house growing up. There was we were in the family room. There's a sliding glass door in the family room, and it was my mom, my dad, my 5-year-old daughter, and my husband, Sam. We're just standing in the family room, and all of a sudden I see a red snake just outside of the sliding glass door. I was alarmed.
Sure. Okay, now hold on. This is like your childhood home?
Yes.
This is where you grew up?
Yeah, my parents still live in that same house.
Okay.
It is where I grew up.
All right. So this is going to be those are going to be clues that this is probably generational, because it's about your family home and where you spent all of your formative years. Okay. So in other words, mindsets, attitudes, belief systems that were formed in you early in life. That's what all this is about.
Okay.
Okay, that all formed in this household. Then you've got your mom and your dad. You've got your immediate family, which is your daughter, your husband.
Yep.
So your family is there, but we're talking about something generational. Now, this was out, the snake was out the sliding glass door of the back of the house.
The back of the house.
All right, so this is going to also be about what was established in the generational line or the bloodline from the past. We'll get more clues as we go, so go ahead.
Okay, so it was a big fat red snake that was outside, and like I said, I was alarmed at first, and I was shouted to my dad, look, there's a big snake, look at this big snake outside the door. And we were all kind of gathered around the door, and it felt safe, because obviously it's outside, the other side of the glass, but all of a sudden, it just kind of like transported itself inside the house, and at that point, I freaked out.
Okay, so it comes inside the house.
Yes, it just transported inside.
All right, so this is usually going to be an indication that what was established in the bloodline is still affecting your family.
Okay.
And it would affect your immediate family as well as your family.
Okay.
The family where you were raised, right? Now, the other thing that I want to ask is, because this immediately came to me, is there any area or level of anger or rage that has been an issue in the generational line? Because that's what I heard immediately.
Definitely, yes.
Okay.
My dad's side of the family, primarily his mom, definitely.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So what I'm sensing and what I'm seeing is that there is has been a stronghold of anger or rage that has been in the generational line. Now, this is interesting. The other thing I'm seeing is this, and you can tell me whether this resonates with your spirit or not. But I feel like it's almost connected to an identity thing, where, let me explain a little bit better, where individuals in the generational line that maybe felt like they weren't let me get rid of that, where they weren't succeeding in something. The rage was sort of a symptom of an area that was actually connected to being invalidated, feeling unworthy, self-worth issues, that kind of thing.
Being accused.
That too, yeah. And maybe self-accusation, where you're not good enough,
Yes,
looking in the mirror, you're not good
absolutely.
enough, you're not performing, you're not doing what's best for
Mm-hmm.
even the family. That's what I was sensing. Failure. It's absolutely, you boiled it down. It's all about failure.
Yeah.
And the rage that comes with, I just can't do it right.
Yeah.
Right? And then it turns into even an issue about victimization.
Okay.
So then those, not only is rage a stronghold or a power in the generational line, but you've got the self-worth issue, the failure, fear of failure.
Yes.
All of that then plays in.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Makes
And
absolute
invalidation.
sense. Yes.
Invalidation. Okay, so continue on.
So I was scared once the snake actually
Sure.
came inside the house,
Big
freaking
ugly
out.
thing.
My parents didn't seem to be all that fazed about it. I will
Okay.
mention my daughter Zoe. She was the most curious and kind of like infatuated with.
Oh, okay.
She wasn't scared. She was very curious. She was the closest one to the snake.
Nice. Now, interesting, because we know Zoe means life, right? So and did you say she's 5?
Yes.
Okay, 5 represents grace. So I'm wondering if we're talking about the life of grace that is what Creator is has given you. He's working you through all of this, and He's giving you the grace to do so. So she may actually represent like Spirit doing His thing,
Wow.
right, in your life, which is kind of cool.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So that's probably an attribute of your own life. And that she wasn't afraid of it, but was more curious about it, might be more a depiction of, sort of, I got this. It's like, I see this. I'm acknowledging I see this. And isn't that the way Spirit does? He illuminates things for us so that we are enlightened, and then we know that there's an issue that needs to be dealt with, and then He gives us the grace to do so.
Yes. Amen.
Right?
Yes.
So, very cool. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so my dad, just like I said, my parents were just kind of nonchalant about it. He just
Okay.
grabbed it by the neck and picked it up, walked to the front of the house, opened up the front door, and threw it out the front door.
Threw it out. I love that. Okay, that he grabbed it, number one, wasn't afraid of it, probably represents that this is connected, may represent that this is connected to his side of the family line.
Okay.
Which you did mention.
Yes.
Okay, the other thing is he grabbed it around the neck, which would basically take its power, right? Can't get bit if something's holding onto your neck. You can't bite something. So he took its power,
Right.
but he also used his will. Think of it like that.
Yeah.
He made a decision.
Okay,
Right?
yeah.
And made a decision that would affect you and your family, because you're in the family room, right? And the front door is going to represent either present or future,
Okay.
typically both. So he's going to affect your present and future by taking the power from this, right, this
Wow.
issue of rage
Yeah.
and this deception and the lies of all of that, the invalidation, victimization, all those things that go in that pot, right,
Yeah.
together, that are companions together, that the way the enemy works, the opposition works, and he's going to throw it all outside. So he's going to take care of it, present and future. Okay, so go ahead. Love that.
Amen. So he throws it out the front door. He comes back into the foyer, because we're in the foyer area
Okay,
now.
good.
He looks up, and above him is a light fixture, and he unscrews the light fixture, and he pulls out a bunch of black little snakes. And he's like, oh, look, here's some black snakes. And he was kind of like, he was just, again, I was scared and horrified by it. And my
Sure.
parents were both like, oh, here's some snakes.
Here's some snakes. We'll throw those out. So he threw those out as well?
That's where the dream ended.
Okay, alrighty. So I love this dream. This is a very cool dream. You have cool dreams, Kristen. This is great. So Daddy goes to the foyer. Now, foyer is the entrance of all structures. So think of it as an entrance or a door, right?
Okay.
Now, the way issues get in your bloodline is for a door to be open. But your dad, who actually could be like superimposed, could also be like, creator. Right?
Okay.
Creator God working on your behalf as well, is taking the issues and taking them and releasing them from the house or the family line. That's that generational deliverance. And then he's throwing them out, shutting the door. So he's closing the door to those generational issues. Now, baby snakes or multiple snakes, to me that, you said that, I heard nest of snakes.
Okay.
Right? So like the nest. So that's going to be like residual. But remember, snakes are more poisonous in their adolescent and their juvenile stages than they are as adults.
Wow.
So they can be even more dangerous in their youth than in their adult state. So that immaturity, that place where they're still extremely poisonous, he goes in. Now, he unscrews the light fixture, which means you're being enlightened. But they're also in a power source in your house.
Yes.
Where there's an entrance or a doorway, like a portal, right, in your family line. And he's taking them out of the power source so that no more light bulbs, in other words, no more thoughts of those types of generational issues are going to have a place in your mind any longer because they're being removed from that power source and they're being cast out. Very cool.
That's good.
So he's getting rid of them.
Yeah.
I love that dream. Wow.
I have to say I
Does
was
that
a little
resonate a little bit?
scared after I had that dream, but then, that
was a
brings a
great
lot
dream.
of light to it.
That's a great dream. Now, one of the other things that I'm sensing is that this is just a beginning for you. In other words, I sense that now when did you have this dream, may I ask?
It was maybe a couple weeks ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, a couple weeks
Current.
ago. Very current.
Love it, love it. Okay, so what's happening that I can see in the spirit is that you are not only experiencing generational deliverance in some areas, and really without your having to work at it, do it, perform, you don't have to really do anything. Creator's actually taking care of it for you, probably because of your desire to have those things cleansed out of right? There you go, out of the land of the bloodline, right?
Yes.
So what I see is that's one of the last things that needed to be thrown out of the house, is what I sense.
Yeah.
And that area is getting dealt with, and you're going to begin to see change not only in your own family unit, but also in your parents, based upon this dream and Creator showing you that He's cleansed the house.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, it is, right? I love that. Wow. So you guys were just kicking some stuff out of the house, right?
Yeah.
I love it. Thank you for joining.
Thank you.
And thank you for sharing. That was an awesome dream. And see, it wasn't scary at all.
No.
But when we have those dreams, it's like,
Snakes.
right? I don't want anything to do with the snakes. Thanks for joining me. I appreciate it, Kristen. You're awesome. Thank you for joining me. And remember, it's not just a dream.